Welcome. So now we have written test case for save property, but there are other methods in our controller which we should write test as well for. So let's quickly go ahead and write the test for our get properties method. So again, we need to go ahead and say void test get properties. And here we can give the name annotation as test and display name as test success scenario for fetching all properties. That's what we want to do. So now, as we know, the first thing that we have to do is basically we have to call the controller first. So we'll say property controller dot get all properties, and it's going to return us a list. So we are going to take that list, and what type of list it is, just hover here, you will come to know it's list of property DTOs, but on a response entity. So we can click also control. So if you are here, press control and hover here, and you can click on it. So it goes here, and we say we will get back the response entity of this item. But again, we will be encountering the same problem that the service will be coming into picture. So we have to bypass this, and we know how to do that. So now what we will do is we will just go ahead and copy this and paste it here. All right. Now what we have is what it is doing is whenever we are getting calling this, we should return a list of property DTO. So let's prepare that first. So we want to go ahead and first prepare list of property DTO equal to new of array list. And then I'm going to say property, I'm just going to create one property DTO object for now, and that should be it for testing purpose. So I'm going to say DTO dot set ID as 1L and DTO dot set title as dummy property. Perfect. And now we need to add this to our property list. So add this to the property list. Add it to the property list. Perfect. All right. So now we have done this part. So now what our vendor will do is it will say do not make the actual call to property service get all properties method, which doesn't take anything inside the property controller. Rather than return a dummy list of property objects. Dummy list of property objects. Dummy list of property object from in the controller. So it's not going to make the actual call here. So this call will be bypassed, and the list which we are preparing here, this list is going to come here, and this will get returned. So instead of this making this call, it will return this value that we will pass from our test. Perfect. So now we have to say whenever this property service dot all properties is called, get all properties is called, and of course it doesn't take any parameters, so we will get rid of this, then return this property list. That's what we are saying. All right, so now when our controller will call this, we will have to receive what is being returned. So this is what is being returned. So let's copy this. In fact, I can copy this whole thing, paste it here, and now we can do some assertions. So the first assertion that what I would like to do is, let me do an static import of our assertions. So static import of the assertions, copy this, paste it here, and I can say static assertions dot assert equals. So I have an assert equals now as a static import. So I can say here assert equals, and expected is our list size, our list size should be more than 1, or it should be not 0. We expect some value. So that's our expectation. So we can either say list size not equal to null or list size greater than 1. So we can say assert equals expected size is 1 for the list, and from the response entity whatever we will get is say dot get of body, which is this one, dot size. So this should be also 1 because that's what we passed. So again we can also do an assert equals of the HTTP status. So HTTP status for us it is okay. Yes, that's correct. And what we are getting from the response entity dot get status body value, status code value is also same. So let's quickly check if that's true. What is returned? Yes, that is correct. So it returns this value. Perfect. Now if we go and try to run our test, we should be able to succeed the test, and also the code coverage should be good enough. So you can also run this test in debug mode and see for yourselves how it's running. So now our test is running add to suite, and you see that our test is nicely run, and we also our test got passed. So I'm going to minimize this. Our test got passed here. Wait, something went wrong. Test failed. It says expected is 200. Okay, and okay, this is one thing that we have to check. What we did here basically is we should take its value dot value, then only it will calculate the integer with the integer. Now if we run this, then this will be 200 and 200. So let's quickly check. Perfect, the test passed. So now we have successfully completed the test for our save and for our get mapping. Let's maybe do one more in the next video for our patch mapping service. Ideally we should write test cases for everything, but we are going to just write for few, and the others you can write it yourselves. This is it for this video. I will see you in the next one. Thank you.